I want to tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. In the world of motorsports, if you want to win one race, that's the Indianapolis 500. Everything else is nice. I'm not saying your other races aren't nice. They're fine. But really, if you want to be somebody, if you want to have something on your mantle, win the Indianapolis 500. That changes your life, and you're the guy for the rest of your life. This kid coming out here has won it twice. Yeah. On Memorial Day, our next guest won the 95th running of the Indianapolis 500. This is the day before Memorial Day. Ladies and gentlemen, here's two-time Indy 500 winner Dan Wheldon. Dan, come on out. This year, I thought the race was interesting because the team favorites were not so much a factor, although I guess Scott Dixon dominated the race for quite a while. But in terms of the favorites, it didn't really finish where you thought they were going to. And then guys like yourself with a one-time only ride end up winning the thing. Why is that?
Well, thankfully that was the case. I was actually driving for an old friend of yours, Brian Herder.
Brian Herder, who used to race for Bobby Rahal.
Yeah, he was, you know, he's been a good friend for a long time. He's my teammate, and now he's my boss. So that kind of changed the relationship a little bit.
But this is the only race you were running this year, isn't it?
Yeah, but he put a great group of people together. You know, William Rast really helped build the program, and you know, we were just fast from the get-go. We collaborated with Sam Schmidt's team, and it felt good to beat the big teams.
Right. But now you don't have a job. You don't have a gig. It was the one race. You win it, and then so how does that work?
Thanks, Dave.
Well, I'm sorry, but. Oh, and the other thing, I remember the first year that you won it was also the year that Danica Patrick led the
That was your fault. That was your fault.
That had nothing to do with it. And as a result, nobody knew who won because they were all worked up that Danica had driven led the race for a while. So here we go. A champion in ignominy, my friend.
An unemployed champion, but at the banquet I received the prize money check, which was $2.6 million. That was the best unemployment check I received.
Wow. Now,
I might add, I don't get all of that, just to clarify.
Still in all, it's a nice number to say. And then our driver, Bertrand Baguette, leading with 5 laps to go, had a shot, didn't get a yellow flag, but had a shot.
Yeah.
It was an amazing day.
It was, for the 100th anniversary, I think it was the race that everybody wanted to see.
Now, what happened on the 200th lap?
Well, fortunately for me, but unfortunately, the rookie J.I. Hildebrand hit the wall coming.
Now, here's a kid, the same kind of deal we're talking about. Here's a kid who's leading the race.
Yep.
First race, Indianapolis 500, first race. And then I think we have the videotape. Dan, if you can narrate this, tell us what happened. Show us where you are. There he is.
Well, yeah, he was trying to save fuel, but coming up on a very, very slow car. And he had to commit to either, you know, bottling up behind him and risking me overtake him down to the front stretch or go around the outside.
And that was you there. So he looked like the winner. You're thinking, okay, I'm following the winner across, maybe.
Yeah, he was very close on fuel, so I was just committed at the end to make sure that if he did run out, I was right there to capitalize. But, you know, unfortunately...
And then he hits the wall, and then you're the winner. And there was some controversy because they said, well, wait a minute, when he hit the wall, the yellow light comes out, and when the yellow light comes out, you can't change position. You passed him to take the lead. Now, they looked at the tape, everything's fine, right?
Yeah, I think there was some other drivers as well that had overtaken on the yellow, so they were clarifying that. But it was one of those things where when I passed him, there's been controversy with that before as well. So I made sure I had a little glance, but I wanted to make sure too that it wasn't. I was hoping that the light was green. It was, in fact, green, and it turned out to be the case.
So now you're a 2-time winner, and as great as it is to win that first time, it's maybe a little better the second time because you know what's coming. Your life changes yet again, doesn't it?
Yeah, and you know, it's unbelievable. This one was more emotional for me. They're both great victories, but there was a lot going on. I was driving for Brian. As you pointed out, I'm now unemployed, so it was my one race.
But this, I'm right about this, and not only from a driver's perspective, but just people who are interested in racing and people who don't know much about racing. The race to win is the Indianapolis 500.
It's phenomenal. It's what all of us work for such a young age. There's so much that goes into it, from the drivers, the mechanics, to the families of the people that work on the race car. It's everything to us. It's I think without doubt the biggest sporting event in the world.
Well, good for you and congratulations. And I wish we had won. But we didn't, but we will. And now there's help me out with this. We saw the kind of cars that have been racing in the IndyCar racing for the last, well, forever at this point, 15, 20 years. And now they're changing the type of car, and we have a version of the new car with us.
Yep.
And you tell me and others, let's see some pictures of the new car. There it is out on, is that 53rd Street? Is that where it is? What is different about this car? It looks to me essentially, well, similar certainly.
I think it's a more modern look. Obviously, we've got multiple engines, engine manufacturers involved with...
So it won't just be the Honda engine?
Yeah, we're going to continue with Honda, but there'll be Lotus and Chevy, and it's got that modern kind of hip feel to it. I think, the IndyCar series has got...
How fast will this thing go?
Yeah, I think Randy Bernard is wanting it to go faster than what we do already. When you consider we do speeds of over 225 miles an hour at Indianapolis Motor Speedway,
right.
I think it's going to be impressive. If you're looking at the oval version, there's obviously going to be...
Well, you get a little protection on the rear tire. Is that a safety issue, or is that aerodynamic?
Yeah, the IndyCar series are constantly looking to improve safety, and I think that's more for safety, but I think aerodynamically that...
You don't want the wheels climbing up over each other, because that's when unpleasant things happen.
Exactly, and I don't want any part of that, that's for sure.
Who's that guy standing there between the cones? That's what I'd like to know. Who's that guy? Hey! Get out of there! Hey, beat it!
He's the guy that took my job.
Get out of there! Come on! Take a hike! Get a cab, you loser! Well, it's a beautiful car, and when will we see this racing?
The first time will be in 2012.
Be nice if you had a job, and you could drive it.
Dave, that's very nice of you to keep reminding me.
When will you go back to racing full-time now? I mean, it's nice that you come out of retirement once a year to win the Indianapolis 500, but when will we have a regular series ride?
Well, we're working on that with Brian Herter, and, there has been some interest, but for me it's important to...
Give Ray Hall a call.
Yeah, maybe I should. Maybe you could hit him up for me.
Yes, that's what I do. That's always what I'm doing. Hey, Bobby, you got an extra $50? Dan, I couldn't be happier for you. I'm sorry that you don't have a ride for the rest of the year, but it's still a great story. This is Dan Wheldon, ladies and gentlemen, two-time Indianapolis 500 winner. We'll be right back with Anton. Thank you very much.